Hello guys and girls, welcome back to the Racing Line for another circuit guide here on iRacing. This is week 5 of season 3 2026 in the BMW M2 Cup around Virginia International Raceway, the North layout. This is a fixed series, so no setup is needed. This is an official race session, so the conditions match. Same format as before, breakdown lap followed by a full speed uninterrupted lap followed by an offboard lap. Let's see if we can help you guys find some time. So we're coming down the main straight towards the hairpin right of turn 1. The braking zone nice and easy to spot in between the 3 and the 2 boards. We're going to be hard on the brakes from 6th down into 3rd gear. As we trail brake in, you're going to hold it to the right all the way around this right-hander. Through turn 1, straight back on the power, keeping it to the right. The next corner, you can kind of keep the car to the middle. Kind of tricky to spot the braking zone because we're heading to the right, but the curb we're looking at is on the left. When that curb ends, just graze the brakes in 5th, down into 4th, trailing all the way to the apex, straight back on the power, use all the curb on the exit. Then as that curb ends, you can see this green patch just here. When the curb ends, just past that, hard on the brakes down to 3rd. Again, trailing in, straight back on the power, but we're feathering the throttle all the way through this section because we don't want to lose the rear. The car gets a little bit loose. You should be flat out by the time you exit the S's in 4th gear. Of course, you're going to go up to 5th, and now you've got a little bit of a breather as we head towards the bridge and the next right-hander. Tricky one, no real braking spot to spot, but you can see the dark patch where everyone is braking. So we're hard on the brakes from 5th down to 3rd. A nice wide uphill corner, so you can get back on the power earlier than you think as you can sort of exit wide, but the car does get a little bit loose on the brow of the hill, so careful of that. 4th through here, quick lift off to get the nose in, straight back on the power, up into 5th. You can see I understeered a little bit here, but it's no problem. Loads of room on the exit. This white line, when that white line ends, just as we go past it, we're going to brake hard from 5th down into 3rd gear. Again, trailing in as the track disappears downhill, straight back on the power, full speed through here up into 4th. Get the car back to the right-hand side. We're going to do this part in slow motion. We're going to go up into 5th, lift off over the curb on the left, graze the brakes down to 4th as the car is straight, and then just wait for the power until you know the nose is going to bite. Straight back on the power in 4th, up into 5th gear. It's extremely important. A lot of people are going to make mistakes there. This is your key overtaking zone. If you can just be a little bit more patient than the person in front, you will gain that position. Let's go full speed uninterrupted. In between the 3 and the 2, hard on the brakes down to 3rd, hold it tight to the right all the way through. Straight back on the power, keeping the car on the right, up into 4th. Now get the car in the middle. You can hold it to the left if you want to defend, but the key thing here is to not brake too hard. Just graze the brakes from 5th down into 4th, get back on the power, use the curb on the exit. When the green patch ends, hard on the brakes, down to 3rd, get it turned in, back on the power. But careful, if you full throttle it all the way through here, you'll either understeer or get a little bit loose on the rear. You should be flat out by the midpoint, all the way through the S's now, up into 5th gear, straight down towards the bridge, and take a breather to gather your thoughts for this next right-hander. Hard on the brakes at the dark patch, down into 4th, down into 3rd, trailing in, straight back on the power as you go up the hill, but careful of the rear, it gets a bit loose. Through these S's, I keep it in 4th, you can go up to 5th, but I keep it in 4th as I know I'm going to lift here, straight back on the power, now into this right-hander. Try and avoid the understeer if you can. As we get to this point, the white line ends, hard on the brakes down to 3rd, trailing in, back on the power down the hill, up into 4th when you can, over to the right-hand side. Remember, this is your key corner coming up. We're going to go up into 5th. We're going to lift off, graze the brakes, back down to 4th, off again, now back on the power because we know the car's going to bite. We know we've got the trajectory onto the main straight, and we've tried to maximize our exit. This was a surprising lap for me, actually. I did 36 in qualifying. It was a 35.8 in the race. The cars ahead are about 4 seconds up, so I'm not really getting any tow from them. As usual, that is pretty much it from me. I hope you found this helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you found this useful. And if I don't see you on track this week, then I'll see you next week for the next video here on the Racing Line.